Hello and welcome to the series where we talk about a different Taylor Swift album every month. If you're interested in more videos like this, I have a playlist on my channel of all of the videos that we've made so far, and we're going to be doing way more. Obviously this month we're talking about 1989 because it's May and May is the 5th month and this is the 5th album. So in this video we're going to deep dive into this album, and at the end I'm going to rank all of the songs based on my personal preferences. So without further ado, let's get into it. So 1989 is an extremely important album in Taylor's discography. I don't know if she expected it to be this big, but it is absolutely huge. If you ask a random person on the street to name a Taylor Swift song, the likelihood that they will name something from this album is very high. And I'm not talking about people who would be conditioned to like Taylor Swift. I'm talking about your uncles, your grandmas. They're going to know Shake It Off or maybe Blank Space, because this is the Imperial era of Taylor Swift, the first one we've had. The album itself came out in 2014 on October 27th, and it is significantly shorter than her previous album Red, because this one is only 48 minutes and 41 seconds. It's very concise, and I think it's characterized by her trying to do the best album possible instead of trying to express herself as much as possible like in her other albums. So it's a little bit more at arm's length. She released a bunch of singles for this, and they were Shake It Off, Blank Space, Style, Bad Blood, Out of the Woods and New Romantic. The cover itself is very simple. It is a Polaroid picture. The reason why this is a Polaroid picture is because of the title 1989, which is of course the year when Taylor was born, and a lot of the sound on the album is inspired by the 80s, and so is the cover photo, which is taken with a Polaroid. In the photo we can see her wearing a sweatshirt with some seagulls on it, and she is posing in such a way where we can't see her eyes, and her hair is short, which is very important for this era. Then this is the back of the record, and I really like her hair and her makeup in this picture. So as you can tell, we only get 13 tracks, which again 13 is an important number for Taylor because she was born on December 13th and 13 is her lucky number, and so this album has 13 songs on its original track list. So the songs are Welcome to New York, Blank Space, Style, Out of the Woods, All You Had to Do Was Stay, Shake It Off, I Wish You Would, Bad Blood, Wildest Dreams, How You Get the Girl, This Love, I Know Places and Clean. And then later on we also got the deluxe edition with basically the same cover, except it has 1989 written with a marker on top of it. Here we only got 3 bonus tracks. We have Wonderland, You Are in Love and New Romantics. And you can see here that she also has some voice memos, which we're not really going to be talking about, and they're not going to be counting for my ranking as well. So we got 5 proper music videos for this album, and they were Shake It Off, Blank Space, Style, Wildest Dreams and Out of the Woods. Let's talk about 2014 for a second. I composed a collage of different things 2014. So first of all we have some movies. So of course we have Guardians of the Galaxy and Captain America the Winter Soldier, both iconic movies. We also have Divergent, Interstellar and Gone Girl, which I haven't seen. For the music I have included Happy because I remember that song being absolutely everywhere, and I guess that was in 2014. We also have Selfie Sticks and this photo which has not aged very well, but I remember people being like obsessed with it for some reason. And we also have Ice Bucket Challenge, which is a thing that a lot of people did. And if you want to look at the fashion, this is what I found, this is what I remember. Now let's look at some of the aesthetics. So every Taylor Swift album has the aesthetics that are recognized by the fandom to be very much tied to the album. Now they don't have to be exactly related to the contents of the album, they're just things that we associate with the album. And I have collected some off Pinterest and I'm excited to show them to you. So first of all we have a lot of the beach. This is motivated probably by the Taylor's version of the album where we have a lot of beach. We also got this photo shoot with her on the beach. Then we have Paper Planes, which appear on the album too. New York City, obviously, with the first song, and just the overall theming and what Taylor was doing at the time point toward New York City. Then on a similar note, we also have a city skyline. Fun fact, when 1989 was coming out, people were convinced that the album was going to be called Skyline. Then we have vintage stuff. Again, this album is inspired by the 80s, so it makes sense. And Polaroids, again, similar. Still, I wanted to point out just how many things with Polaroids I could find with 1989. Blue cars. Cars will not leave us alone in the series. They're absolutely everywhere, but in 1989 we have a lot of blue cars specifically. Then we have seagulls, which I think is because of the outfit she wears on the original cover, and then also because of the cover of the Taylor's version, which we'll talk about in a second. And I think it's funny because seagulls are really goofy. I really like seagulls. I think they're really cute. Then you have a Ferris wheel, which shows up a bunch, even though I don't think it's mentioned on the album at all. We also have handwriting. This shows up quite a lot, including like graffiti. Blue clothes. I've also included eyeshadow. That's something to think about. Then we have the sky, which is obviously blue, which is the color of this album. And now for my favorite part of the video, which is where I get to talk about frequent motifs that appear throughout this album. These are some things that crop up at least twice or 3 times on the album that I have noticed and compiled the examples for. And the first thing is crowds. They come up 3 times on the album, and I think my favorite one of here is "You part the crowd like the Red Sea, don't even get me started." Then we have madness. We have a bunch of examples here. I was actually surprised to see madness show up quite a lot. I love the one that says, "And you understand now why they lost their minds and fought the wars." And then she also says, "And why I spend my whole life trying to put it into words." Then we have money. We have kind of observed her go from this simple small town life to living in the city, in literally the biggest or one of the biggest cities in the world, and living it up. And I think for this one I really like flash with the currency of cool. Then we have fighting. So many examples for stuff related to fights. I will admit that I have extended this prompt quite a lot because there were just so many different things, just like mentioning wars or battles, but also weapons and being hit or hitting somebody or throwing things at somebody. And I love Say Don't Go, spoiler, so I love the one when she says, "Why'd you have to twist the knife, walk away and leave me bleeding?" Then we have cars. They are so consistent. She will not get away from cars. So we get some examples. There's a second slide too. And I don't know if I have a favorite example here because they're mostly simple. I like the way she sings, "All I know is that you drove us off the road." Then we have dreams. Dreams are interesting. There's a whole song called Wildest Dreams. And of course, I have to highlight the lyric, "You dream of my mouth before I called you a lying traitor." Then we have the incident. Okay, so for this one, I need a bit of backstory. This isn't funny, but it happened a long time ago. So apparently back in the day when Taylor was going out with Harry Styles, they went skiing and they had some sort of like an accident there, and they're fine now, but it has affected Taylor to the point where she does mention it quite a bit on this album, and I feel bad picking a favorite, but she does talk about losing control in the snow quite a bit. Then we have lips. Lips come up like 3 times. Loose lips sing ships all the dang time is really good, but also I got that red lip classic thing that you like is iconic. Then we have dancing. This was bound to come up, and I love her saying, "Please take me dancing, please leave me stranded." Then we have games. Always exciting to find games in one of these, and again I think the most iconic one is the player's gonna play line, but I think I really like the one in New Romantics when she says, "It's poker, he can see it in my face, but I'm about to play my ace." Then we have hearts. "Took our broken hearts, put them in a drawer" is one that I really like, but I also have really enjoyed "I broke my own heart because you were too polite to do it." Then we have Night Again, and we have a bunch of examples, and a lot of them are just hours or just saying midnight, but I have to highlight "Why'd you whisper in the dark just to leave me in the night?" and "At least I had the decency to keep my knife out of sight." Then we have dress. I don't know why I put it here, honestly. There's just 3 examples, but blue dress on a boat was just too iconic not to include. Then we have ghosts. A curious one, isn't it? That there's a bunch of mentions of ghosts on the album. I think I like "Stand There Like a Ghost Shaking from the Rain" the most, because what do you mean a ghost is shaking from the rain? I don't think they can do that. So then we have water. This is a very water themed album. For one, it's blue, so it's going to be water themed, but also we have a lot of mentions of waters or things on the water There's another example. We have Blue Dress on a Boat again. We have the one about a slippery plastic summer in a hose. And we also have Aquamarine Moonlit Swimming Pool, What If All I Need Is You, which just shows the versatility of her writing. Then we have He Can't Keep His Wild Eyes on the Road. If she's got blue eyes, I will surmise that he'll probably date her. Stuff like that. Then we have Sky. Just 3 examples, but I found it interesting because they're kind of in songs back to back, except for the first one, Cherry Lips, Crystal Skies, it's right at the beginning with blank space. Then we have Lights, quite a couple of light stuff. And I love, my only lyric that I like from the song is This Love Is Glowing in the Dark. Then we have Cheek, which is another part of the face, as we all know, I assume. And I don't know if I have a favorite here. They're kind of simple. Then we have Heaven, which comes up 3 times, and I think I like the Could End in Burning Flames of or Paradise the most. And finally we have Hand, which is there quite a bit. Handprints in Wet Cement is fun, and I also love Had Me in the Palm of Your Hand, then Why'd You Have to Go and Lock Me Out When I Let You In. It's one that's stuck in my head all the time. The next thing we have to talk about is the fashion. I don't know anything about fashion, but these are just some of the looks that I have found for her, and I really like the one with the cat. I think that's very pretty. And cute. So I think the most important thing to mention here is her short hair, especially the one from the Grammys. She had like a coconut bob, and in other pictures it's a little bit more grown out, but especially on the Eras tour, which is recently. But from 2014 her hair was short. This is when she chopped her hair, and it's pretty significant because her long curly hair has been kind of a signature thing for her for a very long time up to this point, but in this era her hair becomes short for the first time. And the other very important thing for 1989 and fashion is the way that she dressed. It was a lot more revealing, and she would show her midriff. Is very iconic for 1989 for her to wear a top, then like leave a gap, and then a skirt or a pair of shorts, and she would also show off her legs, which go off. And she was also photographed a lot just out and about in New York City. She would have a lot of pap walks, and so we have a lot of pictures of her from this era. Then if we fast forward to kind of around the modern day, we have the Taylor's Version project. So if you didn't know, Taylor went on this big side quest to re-record her masters back a couple of years ago because they were sold to a person that she doesn't like, and since then she managed to get them back. But we got 4 completely re-recorded records from her at the time, and maybe 2 more coming. 1989 was one that we got. It was the last one so far. This one came out on October 27th, 2023. It didn't have a music video. These are the songs, so every re-record project has vault tracks, which are songs that she didn't put on the original album for whatever reason, and now she released them with this new version. And for this one we have SLUT, Say Don't Go, Now That We Don't Talk, Suburban Legends, and Is It Over Now. And finally, let's talk about what 1989 looked like at the Eras tour. So we all know what Eras tour is, and there were actually 2 versions of the tour, one before she put Tortured Poets on there and one beforehand, so the songs shuffled up a little bit and they moved around. But I will say that 1989 remained basically untouched from what I have observed. So both versions are pretty similar. The main difference is when they happen. So in the original, it comes right after Evermore, and this stage, in my opinion, looks very, very similar to what the 1989 stage looked like. Of course, it's still the same stage, but the way that it's lit, it looks very similar to the one from back in the day. And she starts us off with Style in the iconic 2-piece, which she later on started wearing 2 different colors and mismatching her shoes. She was also strutting like on the 1989 tour, because this album has a lot of songs that are perfect to just strut to like a model. Then she goes into Blank Space, and it's really cool because it shows all the different versions of her, also from 1989, in these boxes, and there's people on bikes for some reason. And then she also has a glowing golf club, and the dancers get golf clubs too, and they start smashing this car on the head like in the Blank Space music video, and it's really iconic. Then we go into Shake It Off, and in this one I really like where the hairline happens. She has one of the dancers who has really cool long hair, just go crazy with it. Then we have an abridged version of Wildest Dreams with this visual of her in bed, and then we have the coolest rock riff into Bad Blood, and it is so good. I love this version of Bad Blood. Again, very good to strut to, you can see in the picture here. And in the background we have the Lover House straight up burning down. And then in this version we get into the surprise song, so it was placed right before the surprise song. In the revamped version, which like I said is really similar, we start off after Folkmore because those sets were merged, but we basically also start after Evermore, and we have way more imagery of like a city, and we also start with Style, and this time we have the two-toned color pieces mismatch of the outfit. Then we go into Blank Space. Do you think that on the dancer casting sheet they had Can Ride a Bike? Then she does Shake It Off, and I love the version of the rap she does on the Era Story. And then we have Wildest Dreams and Bad Blood, basically the same. And then she goes into the Tortured Poets department, so that's different. And that's basically it for the theory of 1989, and now let's go into practice and talk about every single song, and I'm also going to be ranking all of them, so let's go. Okay, so we are here at the tier ranking portion of the video. If you're new here, what we're going to do is we're going to put all of the songs into these categories, and each category has a certain amount of points assigned, and then we're going to add up all of the points and divide them by the number of songs, which then will create an average, which will be my rating for my personal enjoyment of the album. Of course, this is just my personal opinion, and if you have different opinions about these songs, that's totally normal, and we should all just accept that we have different opinions, and I support you, and that's fine. So what I can say about these songs is we're not actually going to be filling out each of the categories. My F category is songs I do not listen to, my D category is songs that are too sad for me to listen to, and then C, B and A I think we all get, and S is like my favorite songs of all time, absolute bangers, absolute just engrave them on my coffin and leave them with me when I die kind of songs. An album is not always going to have a song for every one of these categories, but I'm not going to keep spoiling the ranking, and I'm just going to get into it. Welcome to New York is all about being a big fan of New York, which I love Spider-Man movies too, Taylor. I have never been to New York, but I have been told that if you're going to New York and you're on a plane or the train or whatever, and you listen to the song, it becomes like an S-tier experience. Taylor at the time was really obsessed with New York. She moved there actually. She still has an apartment there, and she really likes New York to the point where she was nominated to be an ambassador for New York at the time, and maybe she still is, I don't know. And this song is like a New York City anthem. She talks about living in New York, about first moving to New York, things that are typical for New York, and it's overall a very upbeat, fun song about the city. And to me, it's a great example of a B-tier song. It's like a staple B-tier, which is a song that I really like, but it's not my favorite of all time. Then we have the myth, the legend, which is Blank Space. This song is so fun. This is an example of her being super sassy, which people might not see. When I was little and I heard this song, I did not see it as a parody, because what it is okay, at the time people were criticizing her quite a lot for having boyfriends, which is, I think, a totally normal thing for a person to have, right? She had like a couple of boyfriends in her 20s, pretty normal, right? But people were critical about this. They were writing headlines about her being a serial romantic or whatever, and this song is a response to that. But instead of debunking it, she leans into that, and it's all about seducing men and using them and being this like femme fatale. It's really catchy. It's one of her most well-written songs, I think. I really like when she says, "and I'll write your name," and she does actually a click with with her mouth. I guess. So this song is going into A tier and it's going to be really high up. Style is so funny to me because, okay, at the time when she was writing this album, she did date Harry Styles for a bit. And when people talk about the song, they are like, wow, this is an incredible like clapback at Harry Styles, or like it is a very daring song that is very obviously about him. And I remember being like, yeah, but how can you be sure that it's about him? It's kind of not that specific when you actually listen to it. But then like, girl, it's literally called Style. And when I realized this, I was like, oh yeah, right, that makes sense. It's about a relationship, kind of an on and off relationship, and being with this like bad boy. It's kind of like that. And to me, even though I don't really listen to it as much as maybe other people do, every time it comes on it fills me with so much energy, so I need to put it in A. Out of the Woods is a song that exists. I have never been a big fan of this song. It's really repetitive. It's about a time in a relationship when you don't really know where you stand. It's about this kind of weird grey period when you start dating and you're not out of the woods yet. And she keeps repeating it kind of in this anxious state. Are we out of the woods yet? She keeps saying that, and I get the point, but it becomes really, really repetitive because most of the song is just that phrase, are we out of the woods? And the verses are alright, but when I say it's most of the song, I am saying that because the bridge is absolutely phenomenal, and the bridge itself is probably an A tier for me. It really carries the song, but the whole thing I think would be more of a B tier, and I'm talking like bottom of B. I think the song could be good for jogging, not that I jog. A lot of these songs do feel like they were made for either running or strutting, which is why she would strut so much during her tour. All You Had to Do Was Stay is a song that apparently came to her in a dream, specifically the stay part, and it is very good. It's about a relationship that fell through, but all the guy had to do was stay, and he would have her, but he didn't, so now they're not together anymore. That's the song. Even though this one is also kind of repetitive, I like it way more than both Welcome to New York and Out of the Woods, and on a good day it is an A tier, whereas right now I think it's top of B. Then we have the monster on the hill, which is Shake It Off. I still can't believe that there are songs nowadays that are bigger than Shake It Off, right? That have surpassed the levels of Shake It Off, because at the time when the song was released, it was the big behemoth. It was what everyone knew. It was the song of the year, basically, with how oversaturated it was. It was literally everywhere. And it is a very energetic and catchy song, and it's about self-confidence, which always sells well, so I understand why it did. This is a great song when you have to go out in the morning and you need to wake up, and you just have to put that one on and you're going to wake up. This one is another response to the haters. There's a lot of that on this album. This one is about how she doesn't care about what the haters think, and she's just going to shake it off. I think at its core it's very millennial, which is something that could have made the song age really poorly, but somehow it didn't, because I have so much depth to the song for waking me up so many times. I think I'm going to have to put it in bottom A. Then we have I Wish You Would, and I Wish You Would is a very weird song for me because it's really kind of long, but whenever I listen to it, I think that it's about to end about 2 minutes in, and whenever that happens, I'm like, song of the century, easily, right? It's really good, it's concise, and then I look at it and there's still like 2 minutes left, and I'm like, oh, I'm still here. We're still here doing this. And it's another one of those songs that's really repetitive. This kind of shows the way that she was at arm's length during this era. It's not as retrospective, it's not as wordy with so many different metaphors and descriptors of what happened to her. It's just like words that are repeated many times to make it catchy, to make a great pop song rather than a great confessional song. And I'm not saying that either of these is better. Obviously, these songs are more popular than a lot of the Red songs, so it did work. And the more I listened to this song this month, the more I realized that I don't really like it as much as I thought I did. Mostly because I think I would like it if it was shorter. So for that reason, I think I'm putting it in C. But it's top of C. It's like the best C that there could be. Then we have Bad Blood, which is again another song that I didn't really know much about when I was going into Taylor Swift back in the day, because Bad Blood was a single, I'm pretty sure, but it wasn't this Bad Blood, it was actually the one she did with Kendrick Lamar. So for the longest time, I didn't know that a solo version existed. And one time it came on shuffle and I was extremely confused. And I thought it was kind of bad because it didn't have that punch, which we're going to talk about with the great version with Kendrick Lamar. I thought that it was kind of like a Disney Channel roast song. But now that I've listened to it more and more, I think it's actually also good. I think it's good. But like coming back to that Disney Channel thing, the insult of if you're coming my way, just don't. It's very funny. I love that. It's almost like the one, this is the last time I'll ever call you babe. It's so scary, Taylor. Please, just calm down. And I'm just super used to this song with Kendrick Lamar. For that reason, I can't rank it as highly, but it is a B tier song nonetheless. Wildest Dreams is a very cute song, was a single, I remember it back in the day. And this one is about basically, what is it about? What is the song about? It's like about a past relationship. Once again, they're about to stop being together and she begs him to at least remember her, blah blah blah, right? And this one has kind of this melancholic air to it. And I kind of struggle to like it as much as I want to because I think it's really well written. I literally know a person who, when I asked them, what's your favorite Taylor Swift album? They were like, I don't know, but I know that my favorite song is Wildest Dreams. So it is a hit. It is a fan favorite. But I don't know. I used to like it so much more than I do right now. And for that reason, I need to place it in B tier, and it's going higher up. It's going kind of in the middle right now, behind Welcome to New York. How You Get the Girl. Then we have How You Get the Girl, which is kind of like an undiscovered supermodel. I don't see many people outside of the fandom talking about this song, and it's really cute. It's kind of like a younger Taylor from, I'm talking like debut era. If she got to write a 1989 song, this is what she would do, in my opinion, because this one is basically addressed to a guy, but it's kind of from the perspective of the guy. It's about how to get a girl back and how you lose the girl, and it's very, very cutesy. And I think she wrote this on the same day as she wrote All You Had to Do Was Stay, because in my mind they kind of share some DNA. I know it's weird, but listen to them back to back and try to tell me they don't. I also wrote down there's a broken microwave on it in the background in TV, and I think there's like a glitch in the last That's How It Works there too. But I really like it. It's also a hype song. It's one that I have to kind of cheer up when I hear it. And so I'm putting this one behind Wildest Dreams in B. Welcome to the most boring song ever made, the sequel. This Love is very, very boring and very, very slow. And she also really likes this song for some reason. I don't know, I get that vibe that she really likes it and I don't, so I don't really get it. And like to the point where I think she made the TV ocean themed because of this song, because it has ocean elements in it, and I don't understand it. I don't know. The only line in this whole song that I like is, this love left a permanent mark, this love is glowing in the dark. But what does that mean? Don't ask me. I have no idea what that means. This is like if we played them all in a row, if you left to go to the bathroom during this song, I would not be upset with you. And it's kind of about nothing. It's kind of poetic. It's about this love, and then the scripture, it's kind of about nothing. I'm sorry. It's like, this love did this, and this love is this. And that's the whole song. So it's going in C, and that might be a little bit weird because why is it so high if you don't like it? But it's still on my playlist, mostly because of that one line that gets stuck in my head all the time. And F tier songs are generally songs that I don't listen to at all, like to the point where I don't even put them in my playlist. And then D tier songs are songs that are too sad for me to listen to. So it has to go in C tier because I still have it on my playlist and it's not sad. It's not sad at all. Then we have I Know Places, and I Know Places is a song that I should like so much more. I have seen someone say that this is like a Reputation song but on 1989, and that could be true. It's kind of cheeky and mysterious and slinky. It's about having basically a secret relationship, or I don't know, it's more about having a relationship as a celebrity and coming into the public eye and then trying to escape the paparazzi. But you can listen to it and think about like a secret forbidden relationship or something like that. And for that reason, I like it. But I still kind of struggle to like it like a lot. I really like the line, "Love's a fragile little flame, it can burn out." And overall, I Know Places is going to go into B tier, and it's going to be before Out of the Woods. Then we have Clean, which I know is a fan favorite, but it's another one that I don't really like. I can't with this one, I'm sorry. The bridge is iconic, I'll give it that. It's basically, okay. So this song is about her moving on from a relationship, and she's using basically an addiction as a metaphor for moving on from a relationship, right? Like she's moving on from an addiction, but it's a relationship. So she's however many months clean from the relationship. The notes sound like the pitter patter of water I wrote in my notes, and I guess we're just gonna have to go with that. I don't know, there's just something off to me about this song and the production. I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of Clean, and again, this is going into C tier, but it's above This Love, I promise you this. Then we have Wonderland, which is another hit. It's like an absolute hit. It's about like Alice in Wonderland metaphors. It's about love, but they go to Wonderland and they both lose their minds, and that's the song, and it's a banger. It's really good, and for that reason it's going top of B. On a good day it's an A, but it's top of B because today is not a good day, I guess. You Are in Love is a song that I used to be obsessed with. I would put this back in the day at my top 1 song from this album, and I think that's crazy now because there's so many songs that I like more than it. But I get it, it's really pretty, it's very romantic. It's describing her friend's relationship and how it's like beautiful, and you can tell when someone's in love, and Taylor loves love in this song. And there's this beautiful line in the bridge, which in my opinion is one of her best bridges that she's ever written, which is a high praise for Taylor Swift, who has written some of the best bridges ever. But in the bridge she talks about how she spent her whole life trying to put love into words, and it's just really pretty, and you can really feel the feeling of love through this song. But it's also a slow song, which is going to be an uphill battle for me because I don't really like slow songs. So even though it is a really good song, it's going bottom of B, which is crazy to me because back in the day it would be like S but now it's B, and not even high B. And then we have the best song ever made, because we are doing New Romantics next. This is incredible. This song genuinely came on one day and I decided to get into Taylor Swift because I had it and it was really good. I was like, at that point, I was like, I've had all the singles and I think they're probably her best work, and I'm not going to dive into her songs that are lesser known because I've probably already had everything that's good from her. And then this song came on and I was like, wait a minute. Actually, on second thought, I need to go deeper. I need to see what this girl has going on. And that's just the magic of New Romantics. And this song is about being young and being a romantic, and is bombastic and incredible, and I really love it, and it's going top of A, right? I think it's the best song of the entire album, and this album is really good. Okay, so a bit of an awkward situation because I didn't really proof this tier list before I started ranking it because I'm dumb, and I have realized now that it doesn't have Bad Blood with Kendrick Lamar on it. It instead has Sweeter Than Fiction, which I'm not ranking here because it's not on either of the albums on 1989 or on 1989 TV, so it kind of defeats the purpose if I'm ranking it too. So I'm going to use Sweeter Than Fiction as a replacement for Bad Blood 2, or that's what I call Bad Blood with Kendrick Lamar, and I hope that's not extremely confusing to you. It's confusing to me, but we're going to get through this together, okay? So, Bad Blood 2. So, Bad Blood featuring Kendrick Lamar is a great song. It's a cinematic masterpiece, but we're not talking about music videos here. It's not just that Kendrick Lamar is here and Kendrick Lamar makes everything better, but it's also about the fact that this song just sounds, I don't know if they tweaked it in any way, it just sounds better in this version. It's punchier. It feels like a more effective diss track. I think it also gets a cool factor from Kendrick being there, because Taylor is kind of like geeky and cute, whereas Kendrick is more of a cool guy. So with him being there, the song becomes a bit cooler. When I was little, I thought there were actually 3 people on this song, because there's a little moment when one of the girls featured in the video looks like she's singing, and I was like, oh, so there's like a featured female artist there too. But no, it's just Kendrick. So yeah, I didn't really explain Bad Blood, the first version, but it's basically about being mad at somebody and being angry and how you have bad blood with them. So I'm putting Sweeter Than Fiction. Actually, I'm putting Bad Blood with Kendrick Lamar in top of B. It could be an A, but it's more of a B, and it's very high B. Then we can move on to the vault tracks, which we have 5 of, but it doesn't feel like enough. This vault is really, really solid. It's actually, I think, my favorite vault of any of the albums, which obviously is going to change when Reputation comes out. At least I hope so. But this one is really, really good. It's like quality, 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 and quality. First up, we have SLUT, let's say. This song, it makes me so mad and so sad at the same time. Once again, we're going back to that criticism of Taylor dates too much guys, right? Hence the stupid word that is used for the title of this song, right? Because she was being actually called that for dating people in a normal way when she was in her 20s. And this song is really sad because it leans into that, but not in a fun way. That Blank Space leans into it when it's like cheeky and she's like a villain playing a character. In this one, she says, well, they will call me that no matter what, so maybe I should just accept it. And it's really, really sad. It sounds like she's so numb to all of it. It also has a lot of lyricism that I think is akin to things like Folklore and Evermore. Like, this is the real Folklore and 1989 mashup that we were promised recently. There are things that I don't like about this song. First of all, it's kind of slow, which again, difficult for me to like a slow song. But also the chorus where she says that she got lovesick all over her bed. I don't really like that lyric. Makes me think of having to clean up puke. And that's not really fun, is it? But other than that, I think it's really pretty, and I grew to appreciate it over this month when I started listening to it more and more, because it wasn't in my playlist. It was one of the songs that I didn't put on my playlist back in the day. So it really skyrocketed because it's now in B. This is really confusing that this is Sweeter Than Fiction, but it's not Sweeter Than Fiction. This is Bad Blood, and SLUT is going in behind it, and before Welcome to New York. Then we have Say Don't Go. If Say Don't Go has one fan, it's me. If Say Don't Go doesn't have a fan, I'm dead. This song is absolute cinema, and it's also underrated, which I don't understand. The song is so good. I don't even know what it's about. No, I know what it's about, okay? It's about a relationship where one party is trying way more than the other one, and the other one is kind of leading that second person on and stringing them along, and it's just really, really catchy, okay? I really love it. So this is the first vault track from this album that is going straight into A, and it's actually surpassing 2 of the original album songs. Then we have Now That We Don't Talk, and Now That We Don't Talk is so good, I literally can't. It is unfinished, but it's it's an unfinished diva, okay? It's a song that they just couldn't figure out the ending of, so they just released like half a song, which is what I wish they did with I Wish You Would, I guess. I Wish You Would Catching Strays for some reason. Now That We Don't Talk is about a relationship that ended and they don't talk anymore, but she's still ruminating about him, and her mom is mentioned in the song. She also says you have new icons to describe the passing of time after not talking to somebody, which is very funny because, like, yeah, people change their icons a lot. I think it's a great song. I did consider putting it as number 1 of this album, but it's moved around a little bit, and now I would say it's behind Blank Space. And then the penultimate song is Suburban Legends, which I really like. I think it's cute. I will have to acknowledge the hose line, which is kind of weird. I think this whole song kind of has a tendency to lean toward being like maybe a bit overwritten, but I don't care. I think it's catchy, I think it's cute. And now I have to explain what it's about, which is a mystery to me. It's about a relationship, and that's all you need to know, to be honest. That's all you need to know. If you want to know what it's about, go listen to it, because I won't tell you. It's about a relationship and being in love. And I would put Suburban Legends before SLUT. So again, it skyrocketed from F to top of B. And then finally, last song is It Over Now, which is an absolute masterpiece. And I love this song so much. It used to be my number 1, but New Romantics just surpassed it in like my final re-listen of this album before the ranking. And I love it. I love Is It Over Now so much. Once again, it's about a past relationship where they're no longer together, but they're still thinking about each other, and they don't know if it's over or not. And I think it's really cool. It's sassy. Once again, she probably didn't put it out because it was that sassy, and not saucy, sassy. And I'm going to be putting Is It Over Now right at the top of a behind New Romantics. And here it is. This is my ranking of all of the songs from 1989 and Sweeter Than Fiction, which we're not ranking because that's Bad Blood. Remember, this is Bad Blood 2 with Kendrick Lamar. And it's looking really good. Nothing in D, nothing in F. This is the best one we've had so far, but if there's one person that's not going to lie to you in this whole world, it is mathematics. And so let's consult it in order to see the actual rating that I'm going to be giving this album. So altogether, we have 92 points if we calculate all of this. And there's 22 songs, so dividing 92 by 22, we have 4.182, which I will round down to 4.18 because that's what you do in math. And that means that this is my new number 1. So far we had Speak Now winning, if I remember correctly, and this time we have a new champion of my Taylor Swift album ranking videos. So give it up to 1989. Let's go. I have also calculated the different ratings, which when I say I mean I will in post. Calculate the different ratings for different types of 1989. So the original, just the vaults, just the deluxe tracks, the deluxe version, blah 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 blah. And I will put that on the screen so that we can all just see more data. And other than that, I think we have covered everything that I can in this video. So this is the end. If you liked it, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you don't want to miss my next video about Taylor Swift or maybe something else. And leave a comment telling me, I don't know, what's your favorite song from this album, or what your favorite album is, or what you think about 1989. I'm excited to see what you think. And yeah, this is it for the video, and I hope you have a great day, night or evening, and I hope you see a cat and you can pet it and you are happy, and bye.